Okay, so let's get started with this seminar's explanation. I think I know most of you, but if you don't know me, my name is Yuni Ian, and I'm a professor here in GIS. This is lunchtime, so feel free to eat your lunch. I know some of you would have your third period class, and so feel free to eat your lunch or your drinks. But please do make sure you pay attention. Two important things. One is that you need to grab one of those handouts. The other one is that you need to submit this attendance sheet as you leave the room. Okay, and this attendance sheet is going to be one per student. All right, so I believe you're here because you are interested perhaps in taking a seminar very soon. So I'm going to condense everything that you need to know about the seminars in this 30 minutes, and I want to make sure that you have enough time to go to your third period class and be able to answer your questions as well. Okay, if this doesn't work, just have to use this. Does it work? Okay. All right, so this is what you've seen in a lot of pamphlets and brochures. Oops. And it's a shame because the most important information is hidden. It's a Zoom. But anyway, you know, this is the curriculum for GIS, starting from 100 to 100. Probably right now you're in the 200 level. Next year, when you're third year, you will be able to take the 300 level classes along with a seminar. And if you see here, the first 3 years, 100, 200, and 300 levels, these are mostly encouraging you to take various disciplines across the fields. We want you to broaden your perspective and your understanding. So we really pushing you to take a lot of different classes. Now, we think the 400 level class, the seminar, is very important because we want you to also graduate with an expertise. We want you to have a concentration. We want you to have an expertise in a certain field. And so the seminar is an integral part of the GIS education. We've designed this curriculum to make sure that you get both this broad perspective across the discipline, and that's the interdisciplinary part of GIS. But we also want to make sure that you have one area you feel not an expert. So the seminar is about gaining expertise in one specific field of your choice. And then somehow I cannot move on. Okay. All right, I just explained that in the 100 level, we want you to have more of a perspective. And gradually in your 200 and 300 level, you're going to have a few areas that you may be particularly interested in. And that's your area of specialization. But then at the end, we want you to have an area of concentration where you'll be very much knowledgeable and skilled in one specific field. And so as in the seminar, you will be studying with one particular professor in GIS, and then you're going to be deeper into your study. Another big advantage of a seminar is that you get to spend 2 years together with a very small class with a professor and your classmates, and so you're going to really build a strong social network of people who have gone through 2 years of studying together in a field of similar interests. So what are the seminars that are available in GIS? Well, each of the full-time professors who currently work in GIS have a seminar. All associate professors and professors who teach in GIS have a seminar. And so these are the 9 seminars that are currently available here. Sociolinguistics, Professor Yutai retired this March, so we used to have sociolinguistics as a seminar, but we don't have it anymore. Very soon, Professor Goebbels, if he gets promoted to an associate professor, then he will have a seminar on his own. So we're just waiting for him to get promoted. Okay? So in the end, we will have about 10 seminars, but these are the 9 seminars that will be currently available for you next year. Okay, this is what I really want you to remember. A seminar is not a course. It's not a regular course. Up until now, probably you attend a lecture, you attend a class, and then the teacher, the instructor, will do the teaching. Right? He or he would have a slide, and then will explain this concept, and you test it on this knowledge. Your job is to absorb the knowledge that's given to you, make sure you understand that, and may be able to use that knowledge. Okay? From now on, if you attend a seminar, in a seminar, you will be the one creating new knowledge. So in a seminar, we're going to ask you to come up with an interesting research question you want to pursue, and then you will take an active role in trying to answer that question. Okay, so the teacher, the instructors, the professors will not teach you anything. You will be responsible for your own learning and for creating knowledge. Okay, so you're not just learning, now you are creating new knowledge through your research and through your, mostly through your research. We require active learning even more in the seminar. And it's going to be a more condensed type of learning. So you're going to have 200 minutes per week. Each seminar will have two periods in a row. So that's going to be 200 minutes per week. And we ask you to stay in the seminar for 2 years. So that's going to be a big commitment on your part. As I explained earlier, this is a student-led learning, right? And so writers will not come after you with deadlines, with papers for you to submit, with readings. We're going to suggest readings, we're going to suggest research. But if you don't do anything, you won't be able to continue and learn much from the seminar. There'll be a lot of discussions, presentations, projects, and so on. And so it's going to be a very active learning happening in the seminar. And most professors would require that you do research, that you write a graduation thesis. One reason I really recommend a seminar is because right now, you're taking all kinds of classes, right? And you feel like you know a little bit of everything. But once you look back, you won't be able to really articulate what you actually learn in GIS, right? You'll be saying, oh, I learned this, I learned that, and then this and that. But then if you join a seminar, you would know for sure, okay, my expertise in sociology and everything that I learned culminates into this graduation thesis. And at the end, there is one thing you can show to others. Look, this is what I accomplished in GIS. And that could be sociology, psychology, it could be media studies, literature, it could go any field. But in the end, you want to have one thing you can really visualize and see, hey, look, this is what we did in the seminar. You'll be very proud. You'll be very proud, especially once you graduate and when you look back, having that graduate thesis is going to be a big source of pride. You will gain a lot of expertise in a specific field. You're going to gain research experience, a lot of research skills as well. And I'm aware that only 9 or 10 seminars. So perhaps there's no one seminar you read or you want to be in, but any study that you do in the seminar is likely applicable to the field of your interest. So for example, you might say, psychology seminar, you'll be doing research, you'll be doing statistical analysis, you'll be designing an experiment, and that skill, even if you went to engineering afterwards, that skill you learn in the seminar is going to be very useful in no matter which field you go. And so the goal of the seminar is to really acquire that research experience and expertise. Okay, I mentioned about the graduation thesis already, so I'm just going to skip that one. Connections, that's another big advantage of being in a seminar. You will be working closely together in a very small group of students who have very similar interests. And so you're going to make a really lifelong friendship. You'll be spending a lot of time in and outside class. There'll be field trips, there'll be business contacts, there'll be summer camps, there'll be company visits. And so you'll get to be very, very close with your friends. You'll be also very close to one professor, your seminar professor. After graduation, you will have a home where you can return to. So a lot of the alumni, all the students who graduated in the seminar, they'll come back later, after 5 years, 10 years, suddenly, oh, you know what, I got married. Now I have a baby boy. I switched job. This is what I did. And they still have a home where they can return to because the seminar professors are going to remember you forever, right? Because they spent very closely with you for 2 years. We're going to remember you forever. And that's an important connection you're going to have with Jose and with GIS. Here's some more materialistic reasons for taking a seminar. You're going to get credits. Yay, toward your graduation. Not just expertise, not just research skills, but also credits for graduation. Each seminar meets 2 periods a week. So that's going to be four credits per semester, right? And if you take 2 years of the seminar, that's going to be 16 credits. 16 credits. Of course, you will have to do the work, right? It's a demanding work. But you're going to earn 16 credits by joining a seminar. I'm sure you've seen this table over and over again, especially the of you who want to graduate and actually graduate, right? Seen this before? These are the credits you need for graduation. And if you look at the 300, 400 level, it says how many? 300, 400, how many you need in total? 32. You need 32 credits to graduate, right? And so if you can get 16 credits with a seminar, it means that there are only 16 left that you need to take in the 300 level. That's 8 classes in 2 years, right? And so you only need to take the seminar and then 2 300 levels, and you'll be good. You'll cover it for the 32 credits. What happens if you're not in the seminar? You can still graduate. Of course, you can still get 32 credits from all the 300 level courses. But you have to be aware that the 300 level classes are a lot more demanding than the current 200 level classes. It will require a lot of homework, a lot of reading, a lot of things you need to do. And so having to take 16. You guys okay over there? Questions? Questions? No, you're happy that you will be able to take a seminar? So of course you can take 16 300 level courses, but it means that you have to put a lot of effort in taking the 16 courses. And on top of this, many of the 300 level courses will have a prerequisites. They require that you have taken certain numbers of 100 and 200 level courses before you join the 300 level. So you'll have fewer choices for the 300 level classes. These are the number of classes we offer in the spring and fall. And the numbers usually change a little bit from year to year. Well, this is for 2026, this is for this year. We have 48 classes in the 300 level. Okay? And that's more than enough for everybody to take the 300 level and graduate. But we are assuming that each one of you would take perhaps 4, 5, or 6 300 levels every term. What happens is a lot of the students, and this is what happened this year as well, right? You had problem with selection, right? The selection was really harsh. Selection is going to be super harsh in 300 levels again. I'm just going to warn you, because a lot of the students, although they only need to take 2 or 3 classes every term, they choose to take 10 or 11 300 level courses all in the spring of their spring semester, right? They want to finish everything in the spring of third year and then relax a little bit in their fourth year perhaps. But anyway, because of that, the competition is going to be really hard. And so even though you wish you would be able to take 10 300-level courses in the spring, with the selection, with the number of courses available, you won't be able to plan that ahead of time. Okay, so be aware that in the 300 level, regardless of whether you take the seminar or not, you should expect that you'll be taking 4, 5, or maybe 6, but don't expect you'll be able to take 10 300 level courses all in one semester. Okay, so that's what you will need to be planning ahead of time. So having a seminar is already a big plus because you know that 16 credits is already in there. You only need 8 more classes outside the seminar. The seminar is not mandatory. So you don't have to take it if you don't want to. This doesn't mean that you have a choice of taking, well, basically, yes. You do have a choice for taking the seminar or not taking the seminar, but we strongly recommend that you take the seminar because as I explained earlier, the entire curriculum in GIS is designed so that you would have your full expertise, full knowledge by taking the seminar. So why are we not making it mandatory? If it's that important, why are we not forcing everyone to be part of the seminar? One reason is that we know that some of you would like to go to study abroad, working holidays, and internship and all of this. So they may not, they're not ready to commit themselves for 2 years, so that's okay. Another reason is that the seminar professors, they want students to be actively engaged in their study. If you force students to join, we'll definitely have a few students who are not at all interested, but they're just joining because they have to. And none of the professors in GIS want that kind of students to join a seminar. And that's why we're telling you, join us if you're interested, if you're ready to commit yourself, and then we'll take good care of you. But if you're not interested, don't bother. Okay? You can still graduate without joining the seminar. And we're happy on both ends if you did not have that mismatch. I talked about study abroad. Can you still apply to a seminar even if you have a plan to go study abroad? Yes, definitely yes. You have to talk to each seminar professor what their policy is, but most professors would like to encourage you to have this HAPCAM opportunity or whatever, study abroad opportunity. So if you have a plan of going abroad in your 3rd year or 4th year, and of course you wouldn't know whether you'll be selected for the study abroad program, and so it's okay. But talk to your professor beforehand, telling them about your plan. And usually most professors are willing to support you with the study abroad plan. And then in my seminar, a lot of the students would go study abroad. I expect them to come back and spend the remaining time back in the seminar, but I think it's going to be up to each professor. Okay, so you want to go to grad school, but you realize that there is no seminar in the field of your interest. And this is something I touched on a little beforehand, but I still think it's going to be very important that you join the seminar, even if it's not exactly what you want to do. Okay, I have students who wanted to do environmental studies or developmental studies or other fields that we don't have a seminar. But the methodology, the research skills, the research method, how you look into the literature and how to come up with a research question and how do you formulate your research and so on, how to write up your paper, all of this will be needed when you go to grad school of your choice. And so definitely, if you're thinking grad school, I would say yes, definitely you should join a seminar. The professors can also write a very good recommendation letter for you. So that's another reason why a seminar is beneficial. But Went too fast. Sorry, I want to go back. How do I go back? No. Sorry. Okay. What if I'm already a third year? Some professors are willing to accept students in their third year or fourth year. And so again, ask the professor, they like students who are motivated, who are interested, who are willing to put their effort in the seminar. Okay, so if you're interested, tell the professors, and I'm sure there will be a chance for you to get in if you really explain your passion. Full entry students who started in September, we're working on a very different schedule. So that if you're currently full entry students, then you will be only in your second year in next April. But we are accepting you already in your second term of your second year. We're going to start the seminar at the same time, April of next year, and then you'll be finished in your first semester of your third year. Okay, so you'll be starting a little earlier than the other students who started in April. Okay, but you would still have to go through the seminar application together with the other students of this fall. Okay, so how do you apply to the seminar? To enroll, you would have to submit your application essay. So basically, you'll be explaining why you want to join this particular seminar, why you are interested, and then after that, we're going to invite you for an interview with the professor. And if you pass the selection, you pass the interview, then you will be admitted to the seminar. If you fail in the first round, there are some other seminars. If you have seats available, they are allowing a second round later on in late November or December. You still have a chance. But some seminars are a lot more popular than others. And so even if you're really, really interested in, you may not be able to get in. Yeah, but you still have a second chance if you want to apply for a seminar. So in October, there will be a deadline by which you'll be submitting your application essay. They would ask you why you want to be in the seminar, how prepared are you, and how committed are you, and what can you contribute to the seminar. So there'll be more explanation about this. You're going to submit the essay, then you'll be invited for an interview, and after that, the professors will make a selection. In the essay and in the interview, it's beneficial that you have a very clear purpose. Professors like it when you have a very clear reason why you want to be in a seminar. What skills do you want to acquire? Why is this important for you? Okay, how would you like to grow in the seminar? And what would you like to contribute to the seminar? Okay, so think about it beforehand, deeply why you want to join the seminar. And if you already have ideas on what research you want to do, think about those and explain those in the application essay. We want you to commit yourself to 2 years in the seminar. So you're not going to attend one seminar in your third year, another seminar in the fourth year. We want you to stick to one seminar throughout your third and fourth year. This is because a research will take 2 years to accomplish. Right? The first year, you'll be thinking about your research question, your hypothesis. Then in the second year, you're actually doing the research. It takes 2 years to really complete a real seminar to gain expertise. That's why we require that you spend 2 years in the same seminar. Of course, if you're going to study abroad or Haken or we still encourage you to apply, and we want to make sure that you still get some decent experience from the seminar. Okay, tips for seminar enrollment. So you have to start early, okay, and in your first and second year, I don't know if there are any first year students here, maybe, okay. Make sure that you keep in mind what seminar you want to join later on. Professors prefer students they have already taught before than a brand new student. So make sure that you take the classes related to the field. Be ready to show that you have the necessary knowledge to tackle on the higher level courses. And then in September, I believe it was early in September, we will post a brochure about the seminar. Each professor will write 2 pages, descriptions about the seminar, what we expect from the students, what they do, how they're going to select, and so on. You have to make sure you read that little brochure that will be posted in September. They will be posted in the GRS bulletin board. So that's a place where you have to log in and in order to see. Okay, so check them out in early September. There may be other information that the professors would like you to see, and so you need to check them. In that document, you have instructions on how to write your application essay, how to submit your application essay, and also information about open seminars. Most professors would invite students to try out the seminar. And so there'll be dates, they'll be going to listing dates in which they're willing to open the seminar to other students. So check those dates and try and see if you like that experience. Okay, you're welcome to try several different seminars if you don't know which seminar you want to be in, right? This is important. You may be taking another class while there is open seminar. Okay, attending an open seminar will not give you an excused absence for your regular class. Okay, you still have to explain to the instructors that you are going to miss the class because of the open seminar, but it's going to be up to that professor whether or not they're willing to give you an excused absence. Okay, but tell them that if you're missing a class because of open seminar, but don't assume they're going to give you an excused absence. Okay. What if you cannot miss the class? What if you cannot attend the open seminar? That's okay. We enjoy having students coming in our open seminars, but attendance is not related to whether or not you'll be accepted in the seminar later on. Okay, so if you're not attending the open seminar, we're not going to say, hey, oh, she's not interested. That's why she didn't come. No, we're not going to say that. But we're saying, okay, probably she had a class. Maybe she's really strict on attendance, doesn't want to miss the class. Okay? So whether or not you attend the seminar will not be reflected in our selection criteria. All right. But if you want to know, we encourage you to still attend the open seminars. Right? Okay. Oh, and then if you want to know more about the seminar, you should ask our current third-year students, fourth-year students, see what seminars they are in. Oops, what seminars they are in, and they may be more honest about what it's like to be in a seminar. I tend to say, oh yeah, of course, Dr. Nina's seminar is the best. Right? Of course, I'm going to say that. But ask the students if they really think the seminar is the best. Okay. All right, so this concludes the explanation today. Do we have any questions? Okay. Any questions you want to ask? Okay, so let's close it here. I'm going to stay here for another 10 minutes in the hallway. Come to me if you have any further questions, okay? All right, thanks all for joining me today.